Hello everyone and welcome to this class for hypermobility. My name is Elena. Today we're going to be working on lower body seated postures, and my goal for this class for you is to come away feeling a little more connected with your body, increase some mind to muscle connection, and overall just a little more grounded. So we're going to get started. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see the movements a little easier. And we're going to extend the legs out in front. Hands are going to come behind the back. Fingers can either point to the outside or they can point towards the body, whichever is going to be most comfortable for you. And then we're going to walk the feet out so they're a little bit wider than the mat. Connect to the elbows, make sure we have a bend in them. We're going to connect to the shoulders, rolling them back and down and away from the ears. Pushing the chest out, finding an arch in the low back. Chin is going to lift. And then starting the movement with the pelvis, tucking that tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, arch in the low back, lift the chin. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, notice those elbows, notice those shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. It's very important to make sure our elbows are not locked out. Inhale. Imagine there's a string around your sternum pulling you up towards the ceiling. Take a full round of breath here. And on your exhale, curl in. Keep those shoulders away from the ears as you curl in. Push forward, come off the wrists, roll them out. And we're going to bring those hands back behind you again. Connect to your hips, maybe just wiggle them side to side a little bit. Pull those shoulders down, bend in the elbows. And if this is a little much for your wrists, you can always find fists. But what's really important to help get some of that pain out of the wrists in the front is when we're pushing down, where we're holding our weight is going to be in the base of the palm right here and in the fingertips. So imagine we're trying to cup something underneath the hand. That's how we want to hold the hands. And over time, you're going to strengthen so the wrists will hurt a little less. So fists are welcome if you want to try that. Cupping the ground is also a great option. It's going to build up your strength. Find the breath. Tall through the crown of the head. Think about pushing down into the base of the palms to lift you up. And we're going to bring the knees over to the left. That right hip is going to want to lift off the ground. So we're going to find some resistance by pushing back with the hip. Now we don't want the hip to go all the way back down to the ground. We just want a push and pull of those muscles. So we're going to come back to center. Check in with the shoulders, with the elbows. Over to the right. So see that hip lifts, but we're engaging the muscles as if we're sitting back down. We're not actually moving and sitting back down, we're just engaging those muscles. Coming back to center, we're going to add a piece this time. Think about tucking that tailbone, engage in the low core, and to do that, we're engaging in the pelvic floor by sucking up through the pelvic floor and then tightening. So tuck the tailbone, tighten in the core, send the knees over to the left, pull back with that right hip, come to center. Taking that on the right side, tuck the tailbone, engage the core, pull back with that left hip. Center, to the left, check in with the elbows, with the shoulders, center, to the right, and center. If you need to take a second, come up off the wrist. Take some breaths. And we're just gonna go into that. We're gonna take 5 rounds. 5 rounds total, not 5 each side. So push into the wrist or find fists, bend in the elbow, and we're squeezing the elbows towards each other. So squeezing them together behind the back, pushing up through the crown of the head, tucking that tailbone, engaging in the core, over to the left, 1, over to the right, engaging in the core, tucking that tailbone. This is 3, 4, and 5. Great job. We're gonna come up off the wrists, maybe wiggle them out a little bit if you need it again. And then we're gonna find butterfly. So if you're hypermobile, which I'm assuming you are since you clicked on this video, it can be very easy for us to overextend. So this is me overextending in my hips, pushing down towards the ground. And that can be a common cue for people who are not hypermobile, is to push down towards the ground. We want to do the opposite. We want to pull up, like we're closing a book. And we're also going to think about pushing the feet together. The soles of the feet in towards each other, pushing them in, and we're just going to flutter. So we're going up. Hands can be on the ankles. We're going to be tall through the crown of the head. Think about pulling the sternum forward just a little. Pull those shoulders down. And find your breath. Pushing the feet together, pulsing those knees up. And we're just trying to really notice the tendons, the muscles, everything around the hip joints right now. Seeing what sensations are coming up for you in your body. And we don't want to label anything as good or bad. We're just noticing, seeing how it makes us feel, and breathing through it. Breath is incredibly important. We're breathing deep into the belly. And now we're going to try shifting the hips. So our right leg, and I'm going to move forward so that you might see this a little bit better. We're looking for shifting. It's like we're pushing one hip forward. Hands are going to be on the ankles. And we're kind of using the glute to push us forward and push us back. And we're still squeezing the feet together. And we're just wiggling. And if you're having trouble with this, totally normal, totally okay. It's something that having the mind to muscle connection to be able to move in this way is something we learn over time. So if it feels awkward, it feels weird, you feel like you're not doing it right, be nice to yourself. And we just want to take this a few times because our hips can shift out of place if you're hypermobile. You might have one hip that's farther forward than the other. And so since that's a natural position for our body, muscle memory, our body goes into it without thinking about it. but we can use our mind to muscle engagement to correct it. My right hip shifts forward. So when I'm sitting in a position like this, I consciously pull that right hip back to try to keep my hips in line with each other. So now that we've wiggled out in the lower body, might feel a little bit more in the inner thigh here. I'm going to turn back to the side. We're just going to take a little forward fold. And if your hips need a break, help push those knees together. Maybe straighten them out, point the toes, find the breath. Maybe some internal, external rotation. And then we're going to come back to that butterfly. We're just going to take a little forward fold. However that looks for you, remember, we want to try to not overextend. We want to hold muscle engagement to keep our joints in place. Oops, sorry. Hope that wasn't too loud. So, to do that, push the feet together. Squeeze the knees up and in. We're going to be tall through the crown of the head. Pull the shoulders back and away. And we're going to start to fold forward. This is as far as I can go. We're not looking for depth. You're not, and we want to notice our thoughts as we're in these different postures. Breathe in and out. On an exhale, see if you can go a little further forward. We're thinking about leading with the sternum. Notice the shoulders. We want to try to keep the shoulders in their socket. So we're not reaching, pulling ourselves forward. And this is going to cause a curve in the back. We're trying to keep the spine straight. We're leading with the sternum to go into the fold. Sorry, I'm itchy. So, shoulders in the sockets. Squeezing the arms in towards the midline of the body. Leading with the sternum. Pushing the feet together. Pushing those knees up and in. Breathing in through the nose. And out. In. And out. I'd say the most important thing to keep in mind when we're in postures like this is we don't need to look a certain way. Going down really far into the fold does not mean that you're doing it right. It is not the ideal that you need to strive for. We're really focused on how we feel in our body, how we feel supported, how we're stretching, what feels good for us, rather than living up to a ideal, a perfect posture. So we always just want to be very, very kind and compassionate with ourselves. And that is something that will also take time if you're used to being a little mean to yourself, which is very common. And also, noticing that you're being mean to yourself does not mean that you can then beat yourself up for being mean to yourself. Vicious cycle. We've been here for a second, so pushing those feet together, squeezing the knees in up, leading with the sternum. Find the breath. When we're in static positions, our muscles tend to relax a little bit. We let go of that muscle engagement, so we just have little body scans, reminders to come back to it. And this is a great opportunity to notice your thoughts, notice what comes up for you. yoga is what really helped me notice how mean I am to myself. And being able to notice and recognize and then choose differently, have more compassion. And that's what I hope to help you with as well, if that's something you struggle with. And now we are pushing ourselves back nice and slow, tall through the crown of the head, helping the knees in and up, lengthening out the legs, pedaling out the feet, maybe taking some windshield wipers if you feel like it'll help your hips. Taking a second to do any movement your body feels like it needs. And then we're going to cross the legs, roll forward to a table, or however you can get to table. It's going to be easiest for you. Now with our table, we are pushing down through the feet, down into the legs. We're going to connect to the hands. We want to find that same bottom of the palm, fingertips kind of cupping the ground. And we're going to notice the shoulders. A cue people might give a lot is push away from the ground. Again, hypermobile, we're going to do the opposite. Lower the chest, find the sockets. Let your shoulders find the sockets. And then notice the eyes of the elbow, this part. They might be facing in towards each other. We're going to try to rotate them more towards the front of the room, like we're going to do a tricep push-up. But we're not, we're just in table. So we've got that shoulder engagement, elbows bent, find the tailbone, engage in the core. This is our table. Pushing down through the feet, squeezing the knees together, tucking that tailbone just a little, engaging in the core. I'm not saying tucking the tailbone like this, I'm just saying just a little. Shoulders down, elbows bent. And now we're going to tuck that tailbone, lift the spine, chin to chest, and find an arch in the low back, point the tailbone, lift the chin. Staying here for just a second, making sure the elbows are bent, making sure the shoulders stay in their sockets. And then coming back to our cat, tucking that tailbone, inhale, move to cow, exhale, inhale. Let the shoulders find their sockets, exhale. We're going to take 3 more full rounds at your own pace. Maybe adding in some movements that your body feels like it needs. Meeting in a neutral table, wiggling it out. Then we're going to bring big toes together, widen in the knees, keeping the shoulders in their sockets, pushing hips back to heels. Tuck the tailbone as you go back. Lower down to the elbows. And then extend the arms, still keeping them in their sockets. So again, we're not overextending and reaching. We're keeping them in the socket. Tuck the tailbone. Let the upper body come to rest on the knees. We're thinking about squeezing the knees in towards the midline of the body. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And we've been here for a few breaths. So we're going to take a body scan, starting with the feet, working our way up. Big toes are pushing together, pushing down through the tops of the feet, squeezing the knees in towards the midline of the body, tucking the tailbone, keeping the shoulders in their sockets. And then with the elbows and the hands, we're pushing the hips back towards the heels. Some landscaping going on outside. I hope you can't hear that. Oh, there. It's a good opportunity to focus on the body, even with external stimulation. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. It's nice and slow, pushing up to a table. Maybe softening the eyes or closing them as we find our way to a comfortable seat. Hands are going to find a spot on the body, belly, heart space. Maybe they come to prayer. Inhale, bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, roll them back and away. Inhale. Exhale. Send some gratitude to yourself, to your body, for taking time for this self-care practice today. Fostering some compassion, some self-love. And if you struggle with that at all, know that I have so much love and so much compassion for you. Thank you for being here. If you have any interest in live classes, I teach over Zoom. I will leave the link to my website where you can sign up for that in the description box. I'll see you in the next one.